Hey there, and welcome to Behind the White Coat. I'm Amanda Barron, your host, physician spouse, and your go-to friend for real talk about this medical life. If you're juggling long hours, solo parenting, or finances and feeling overwhelmed, you are not alone. This podcast is your space for honest conversations, real advice, and the support that I wished I'd had years ago. So some episodes will be just me sharing what I've learned along the way, and then other times I'll bring on guests to help navigate the challenges of being married to medicine. So grab a cup of coffee or wine, get comfy, and let's dive in. Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode of Behind the White Coat, Real Talk for Physician Spouses. And I am so happy you're here. Today's episode is actually about time scarcity. And I know all of you know what I'm talking about. So it doesn't matter what stage in life you are in, as far as in this medical training, being married to medicine journey you are on. You could be in the trenches of residency, juggling toddlers and call schedules. You can be an empty nester going towards retirement. I still feel like we all know exactly what I'm talking about. And a lot of times, time is like our rarest resource. And then when we actually have time together, it can feel a little rushed. It can feel a little emotional and then very, very exhausting. So, that is what we're going to be unpacking in today's episode, all about time scarcity. So, let's dive right in. The demand of time on a medical career is brutal. You can have long hours, call schedules, night shifts, work an entire weekend, charting patient after patient. And for your partner or your spouse, you can feel very alone. And I feel like it ends up being a waiting game. You are waiting for them to call you back, and it was hours ago that you called them. You are waiting for them to get home. You are waiting for them to potentially have dinner with the family, waiting for them to get off call, waiting for them to know their schedule so that you can make plans. It's always a constant wait. But I feel like it's also a mind shift. So instead of thinking of all of the time you don't have together, I think you need to really consider the time you do have together and making it super intentional. And what I like to do is think of it in little chunks, because that's usually all we have are these small little chunks of time or micro moments. So my husband and I, long ago when we got married, we decided, you know what? We're going to have date night once a week. Now, I have to tell you, over the years, that's looked a little different. This year, we'll be married 21 years. But date night could be during the day, it could be in the morning, midday, night. So when I say date night, take that loosely, first of all. And then sometimes it was literally me bringing up a cup of coffee in between him seeing his patients or in between his cases. And we would have that cup of coffee together for 5 minutes and he was on his way. But I loved still those 5 minutes because it allowed us to have some time to connect. It allowed me to ask how his day was going. Being able to feel listened and heard goes a long way, even in a short period of time. So I was able to ask him about a sick patient. I know it was weighing heavily on him. And so just to sit down and ask, how is the patient doing? Are they doing better? Did what you do as far as in your procedure help that patient? And not only that, but then he can kind of reflect on how it's now affecting the family. And I think sometimes in turn, how it was affecting him, but he didn't really know until we had these conversations. So those micro moments matter. And again, it's not just about time, but it's about that connection that you make during that time. So some other ideas would be quick FaceTime, even if it's in between lunch break or walking from the parking garage into the hospital. You can still hear their voice, you can still see their face, and you can still make that connection. A sticky note in the bathroom, on the mirror, or in their car, I think would be a great little something telling them, hey, I'm thinking of you. Again, focus on not the time you don't have, but the time you have. So another way to rephrase that or mind shift would be, oh my gosh, we have no time together this weekend to, hey, we've got 2 hours of uninterrupted time. How are we going to spend that together? So I do think on both sides, it helps to kind of shift that in the way that you view your time and then how you make it uninterrupted, make it important, make those times that you're together connection time. So I know for some of you listening, your partner is working 80 plus hours, maybe nights. Maybe you are solo parenting and it feels like trying to shift your mindset or maximize your time isn't real. It doesn't seem like you can realistically do that. I've been there and I am here to say that you're not doing it wrong. You're not wrong to feel this way. And just continue to keep showing up, continue to keep giving grace, continue to keep giving support, and do those micro moments because they actually make a difference. And I think over time, you'll be able to see that those little snippets here and there really allow you to have some of that intentional time to connect. So, like we talked about, time is scarce and real, especially in medicine. But your connection is what the goal is, not the actual amount of time that you get to spend together. You could have 5 minutes of great connection time. That is so much more important and deeper than hours of unintentional connection time. So take the pressure off yourself. Be present in the times that you do have together and be flexible, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other. And just keep in mind that we get it. You're not in this alone. I hear you. I am cheering for you. And if you need community, please feel free to reach out or send me a DM on Instagram at Amanda Barron Realtor. Or in the show notes, I'll put a link for like our private Facebook group, our guides, if you need any connections for those. But just try this week to be a little bit more intentional, to connect and maybe space out a couple little micro moments and just see if your partner notices or see how it makes you feel and if you feel more connected and potentially feel a little bit more heard. So thanks again for listening. And I encourage you to share this with somebody that you feel like could benefit. And if you've got any questions, concerns, comments, please let me know. And I look forward to the next episode. Bye. That's a wrap on this episode of Behind the White Coat. I hope today's conversation left you feeling more understood and supported. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another physician spouse. Your support helps more of us to connect. Keep in mind, this podcast is for you. So let's keep this conversation going. DM me on Instagram at Amanda Barron Realtor with your thoughts, topic ideas, questions, or even guest suggestions. I would really love to hear from you. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. And remember, you are never in this alone. See you next time.